Hi guys, happy Hispanic Heritage Month from the Learning Commons. We want to show you just a few of the many books we have that feature Hispanic characters in them. Chances are you have probably read a couple of these, or maybe you'll discover something new. Now first up is a book called Sal and Gabby Break the Universe. This book is highly recommended by another famous author, Rick Riordan, or some people pronounce it Reardon, who wrote the Percy Jackson series. Now, this book has to do with mythology too. It's Cuban mythology. It's about a character named Sal. Sal is kind of funny and he gets in a lot of trouble, but he loves magic. But in fact, he has a secret power. He knows how to go into other universes and other dimensions to bring things out, to bring them to this universe. Along the way, he meets a girl named Gabby, and Gabby recognizes Sal's secret powers. So the two, they team up. Now this one's called Sal and Gabby Break the Universe, but there's also one called Sal and Gabby Fix the Universe. So I recommend these, and there will be soon a Disney series tie-in for these. So keep these in mind. If you like Percy Jackson, you'll love these. Next up is a book called Friend Divided, and it's about a boy who lives very happily with his mother and his father and his twin siblings that are much younger. And he's going along one day, and when he comes home from school, he finds out his mother has been deported back to Mexico. And this turns his whole world upside down. His father now has to work twice as hard and has to earn money, hopefully to bring the mother back. And that means that a friend has to take care of his little brother and sister. And it is a whole new world for him as he struggles to adapt. And he really misses his mom and the way his life used to be. And to find out what happens here, you'll need to read this one. It's very highly recommended. Now this one, quite a few of you have seen, Quarantine, a love story. And it's just about what the title implies. It's a love story. It's about a boy and girl who are on an airplane, and on the way home, there is an outbreak of something called tropical mono, which means that everybody on the plane has to be quarantined and tested. Well, it turns out no one has it. But the girl in the story, Flora, she doesn't want to go back home. Not yet. She doesn't want to see her dad. She doesn't want to see her stepmom. She just does not want to go home. She liked being quarantined, so she fakes a fever and pretends she is sick. And she manages to get Oliver to go along with her story. So the two become quarantined together. You'll have to find out what happens between the two of them. Do they fall in love? Do they stay friends? What happens? Read Quarantine. Next up is a book called Me and My Big Mouth. Now this character, Zach De La Cruz, he reminds me of a lot of Greg Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The book is very similar. It takes place in a middle school, but Zach's a little bit different. He's funny and all, and he gets into trouble, but his main goal in life is to be unnoticed. He doesn't want anybody to know where he is, what he's doing. He kind of keeps to himself, and he likes it that way. Well, one day he sees a classmate being bullied, and he decides he's had enough. He's going to speak up. So everybody thinks Zach is a hero, including teachers. So they decide to put Zach in charge of saving the sixth grade dance. It is up to him to come up with a fundraiser to do that. And the fundraiser, as you can tell if you look at the cover, has to do with chocolate bars. And Zach enlists the help of many people, but instead of selling the chocolate bars, they eat the chocolate bars. So you'll have to find out if Zach is successful and if he has to come out from his shell and start being in the spotlight. Okay, the last one here is called Gabby Lost and Found. And this one goes out in the library all the time. And there is a cute kitty in a backpack. And it's about a girl named Gabby. And she's similar to one of the other stories we just mentioned because her mother ends up being deported back to Honduras. But she's not so lucky because her father doesn't really come around a lot to help out. So she's kind of on her own and she feels very lonely. Well, one day she starts volunteering at an animal shelter and she meets this wonderful cat named Feather who she really bonds with, and she would really much like to keep Feather. But she kind of feels like the cat. She feels like she's alone. She doesn't really have a home. So she starts writing advertisements for all of these animals to get adopted, and she secretly hopes that she'll find a new family for herself as well. So those are just a few of the books we have here on Hispanic characters. You can find these and many, many more in the library. See you soon.